Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today I want to show the Whirlwind Assassin in a mid-range build. So not super high end, but also not a starter build because for once you need the Runeword Fury, which needs an Ohm rune and some other things to make this viable or working well in P1 with no issues and with just breezing through. So that was the goal. If you like me, playing players 1 like all the time or most of the time, then this might be a fun build to you. So let's jump right into the skill tree. I have 20 new Blade Sentinel, 20 new Blade Fury, 20 new Blade Shield, because Blade Shield also supplements us with some damage, and Blade Fury helps us on single targets like bosses if you want to farm them, and Blade Sentinel can also be thrown before you whirlwind into a pack. As for Shell Disciplines, I put in 20 into Claw Mastery, 1 to Burst of Speed because it is enough with the plus skills that we have, 20 into Venom, or like here the rest of my points, I have 19 in it right now, to boost up our damage, 1 into Cloak of Shadows, 1 into Weapon Block, nothing into Martial Arts. Let's go into the items. Of course, we need the Chaos Runeword, as mentioned before. It is Fal has a nice plus 300, I think up to 320% ED. So Sovaya is very nice for this. It has a nice base damage, has increased attack speed, and of course +1 to Whirlwind. This particular one has +3 to Death Sentry, so that we have a little bit of options here to place down Death Sentries if we want to. As for the second weapon, I've opted to use a Plague because it also has a high damage, high enhanced damage on the Runeword, as well as +2 to all skills, which helps our Whirlwind and boosts it up because it starts at a low plus damage percentage. Thankfully, they changed that from starting from -% damage to +% damage, and now it gets, I think, +5% per level. So this is fine on level 5 or level 6 with CTA. Back to Plague, it also has the nice cleansing aura, which I really like against curses, to not be cursed as much. Of course, Deadly Strike and Chance of Open Wounds, and this particular one also has +3 to Death Sentry. So if you can find someone like this would be ideal. But of course, it can also have like +2 Blade Sentinel, +2 Blade Fury, +2 Blade Shield even. It can also have both of them. It can also have like +2 Venom, I think, would also not be bad. But Death Sentry is nice to be able to use it, to not needing to spec down in it. Of course, you can also opt out of some of the blade skills and put in more into Death Sentry, maybe even the Synergy Lightning Sentry. It's up to you and your playstyle. But this is what I run with because I also like the blade skills and I have a wide variety of things to do now. I can Whirlwind, I can Blade Sentinel, I can Blade Fury, I have Venom and Blade Shield to supplement my damage, and I have Death Sentry to have Corpse Explosion, for example. So back to the items, I have a Chi Phase with a 40 ED jewel, nothing else on it, so this is not that expensive. It can also be, of course, 38%, 35% ED, just more damage for our Whirlwind. A High Lord's Wrath, I think this is self-explanatory. It has increased attack speed plus 2 skills, Deadly Strike. A Fortitude, which is very nice because of 300% enhanced damage, of course. I mean, you could run Enigma to teleport around, but I think like with Burst of Speed and stuff, we are very quick already. What you also could do would be like put one into Dragonfly to be able to teleport, to also reposition your Mercenary and stuff. But these are 4 points that we don't have yet, and it's pretty hard to... I mean, we could put less points in the Venom, for example. Ideal scenario would be to have like a Claw that has +3 to Death Sentry and like +1 to Dragonflight, right? String of Ears, nice damage reduction, life stealing per hit, a ring with Mana Leech and hopefully some attack rating and some other useful stats, maybe resistances. This one is not as good, but it's fine. Go Riders, you can also use War Travelers, because as you can see here on our damage part, they boost up our damage pretty nicely, War Travelers. I mean, we lose on 50%, 15% Deadly Strike and Crushing Blow, but it's up to you what you prefer. War Travelers also come with Magic Find, of course. Let's use War Travelers for now. I like the Magic Find. Then a Raven Frost, pretty important for Cannot Be Frozen. Also the boost to attack rating and dexterity. Just look at our attack rating here. It's like massive with Raven Frost. Laying on Hands, massive plus damage to demons. Also the fire resist is nice and the increased attack speed, of course. I have like Shadow Discipline Skiller, 2 with plus 20 to life, 1 with fast hit recovery, a Geats for a little bit of MF, and just small charms with resistances like fire, lightning, cold, 20 to life, 1, 3, 20, 20, an Annie, and a torch. In this case, they are perfect. They don't have to be, of course, but makes things easier. As you can see, our resistances are not perfect. We still have room in our inventory. We could like get better charms, get more charms, so there's still room for improvement. A better ring with some resistance on it, for example. Also, you already see our attributes. I have around 102 strength because on the offhand I have Call to Arms and Spirit and an Ethereal Monarch, which makes it easier to hold. Only 146 strength, but I have not optimized the strength level yet. You can put in less if you have like Fortitude and G-Face because they all give like nice strength. Fortitude does. No, Fortitude does not give strength, sorry. G-Face gives plus 15 and Waterworks gives 10, and of course, depending on how high your Annie and your Torch is, you have more strength or less. I've put in around 150 to Dexterity. Thinking about putting more because of the attack rating that we need. It's more on the low side, but we do have an Act 3 Mercenary with Enchant, more to that later. And of course the rest into Vitality, we don't really need energy. Speaking of the Mercenary, opted for this Act 3 Mercenary. Of course, you can run an Act 2 Mercenary with Blessed Aim, with Might, with whatever you want. Reaper's Toll is incredible. Pride is incredible if you can afford it. All that good stuff. But I really like Enchant. I really like the massive boost to attack rating as well as the +2 fire damage. Having a bit of elemental damage is always nice. As well as our Chaos Wounded has about 200 to 40, 407 to magic damage as well. So I suspect we do okay against immunes. Again, we are on players 1, so this will be enough, I suspect. He has a Spirit and a Monarch. It's ethereal because he only has 148 strength, so keep in mind that you cannot give him a normal Monarch because of the strength requirement. I believe it... Is it 1 or 2 strength per level? So maybe the Mercenary reaches it at the highest level. I'm not sure, but... yeah, try to find an ethereal one, otherwise give him like a Lidless Wall or something. Flickering Flame for the +3 to fire skills. Almost Robes with +3 to enchant, so this is a bit cheeky. Because it's very nice. The Eldrune you can just disregard. I thought it gives +2 blocking, but it does not. It's just slower stamina drain, which does nothing right now. But it's alright. And a Hexfire with 15 all res jewel in it, because it also gives +3 to fire skills, boosting our enchant to level 46. The Firebolt to 37, I mean it's 3000 damage, that's respectable, right? And the Firebolt also does like 2.8 damage, so that's not too bad. Of course, you can also give him a Spirit Sword, which just lowers this like by 1, and I don't know, some other armor with +2 skills would be nice, or a Viper Magi, for example. I haven't factored in the faster cast rate yet. I don't know how significant it would be if it is wiser to have more FCR, but I've opted to try to maximize the enchant for myself. Okay, enough talking. Let's get into some gameplay. Again, this is players 1, but I suspect players 3 would be alright as well. We have the CTA, of course, and buff ourselves up, give ourselves Venom and Blade Shield. And then in our main hand, as you can see, we have very respectable damage, like 3 to 4k. It's not bad. You can move up, you can Cloak of Shadows, then just Whirlwind, right? It's like no big deal. It's like easy. Too easy, maybe. You could also get away with less gear. Maybe even with an Enigma and a Arachnid Smash. Then you need like a dual leech ring, because there's no life leech on the other pieces of gear. So keep that in mind. You need like sources of life leech and mana leech to make this work. Otherwise you will have a bad time. Yeah, basically, this is what the goal was. Like, breezing through P1. Imagine these be terror zones, and you can just whirlwind through them. Easy, right? So what I'm curious about is doing this on player 3. I'm suspecting it would be still be easy enough. So let's assume you have like 2 friends you're playing with. Assume you have 2 friends. Can you imagine? Hard for me, but I try. Alright. Go back here. Buff up. And you want to use your Venom Burst of Speed and maybe Blade Shield with your offhand because it gives +3 to all skills and your main hand gives only +2 to skills. So yeah, this is still nice and easy, right? So we are over geared for players 1, I'd say. For the most part. I'm not even using Death Sentry again, like it is nice to have and you can use it like for very dense areas, like for example the cow level or something like that. I can put them down here and then boom boom boom, it's even easier. We could even do players 5, I suspect, this gear. Keep in mind though that the Corpse Explorer from Death Sentry gets worse with higher player counts. Because as far as I know, it's only using the health pool of the player's 1 monster. So with a higher player count, the monsters have higher health pools, but Corpse Explosion only calculates with the player's 1 health pool. And you can also use Blade Fury, right? Maybe to get rid of like single monsters. I can also Blade Fury into here. Maybe it's even stronger and faster to do so, but that's what I like, no? I can just Whirlwind, I can just Blade Fury, I have options. I have variety, I don't have like only one skill. But this is mainly about the Whirlwind, of course. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes the animation really bugs out. The stone skin, also no problem here. But yeah, I think you get the picture, right? I'd say it's not the most expensive gear, and I'd be curious to tinker around with it and try to stack more Magic Find. Right now we have 90%. I guess like if you happen to have like a dual leeching, you can go Gold Rep, for example. You can stack up on Magic Find small chumps. If you are rich enough, you can like do MF and Resistance small charms. Maybe even let go of these Shadow Discipline skills. I don't know. There's some room. There's some room. But yeah, this is about it. I hope you like this little showcase of the Whirlwind Assassin. I really like it, and this is my plan going forward. Building myself in ladder Blade Fury Assassin. Also for Season 2, I want to start out with Blade Fury Assassin again, of course, and then build my way up and farm for Chaos Runeword. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice time. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye.